Hey guys, Justin Hebert here with Next Steps Coaching. I wanted to hop on really quick and talk really about the foundational aspects of what is Next Steps Coaching and really what it's all about. And I was having a conversation with my wife the other day, and it was really this catalytic moment that I've certainly experienced before. It's why I started Next Steps Coaching, that I think you can relate to, and it's really this paralysis, this fear that happens to us that can overtake us when we sort of feel overwhelmed. And I was talking with my wife, and it was one of those days where I had emails to return and phone calls to do, and we were trying to figure out schedules about who's watching kids, and there were dishes that needed to be washed and laundry that needed to be done, and I needed to get back in touch with this person. I needed to sign this contract, and I needed to get this posted. And boy, it was one of those days where there were 10,000 things to do. And I was talking with her about, okay, so, who's doing what when, and how do we get this all squared away? And it was one of those things like, but if I feel like if I do this first, I really should have been doing this. If I choose to sit down and return emails, those dirty dishes are going to stare at me. So maybe I should go do the dishes first. But if I do the dishes, then I know that I haven't gotten this posted, or I haven't gotten back in touch with this person, or this person's been waiting on my phone call. So maybe I need to call them first. And if we're not careful, in that moment, what we end up doing is we sit down feeling overwhelmed, and we begin to think about all of the things we have to do and which one we should do first and what's going to be the perfect step and the perfect order to get it all done. And all of a sudden we look up and we've wasted an hour, or the morning, or God forbid an entire day has gone by with this paralysis of what needs to happen so that I can get everything done perfectly and on time. And the reality is, the vast majority of the time, that doesn't matter. The particular order, the steps, when you're faced with a to-do list and you're trying to track and get that list done, sometimes the order of the list doesn't matter. What matters is taking that next step and realizing that whatever I choose to do in this moment, what matters now is action. If I can take this next step, if I can get this task done, then at least I've got that one done and I can move on to the next one. And that intentional focus, that shift in our head to say, this is what I'm going to choose to do. So I sat down and I returned the emails. And I don't know if it was the right first step to take or not, but it was a first step. And that got the emails off my plate. And then I went and I made the phone calls. And then I went and I helped with the kids. And all of a sudden, things on the checklist started getting done. And I could look back at the end of the day, and I realized the entire checklist was done. Did I do it in the right order? I don't know. But what I do know is at the end of the day, everything was done. I won that day. Of everything I had to do, it all got accomplished. And that was a good feeling. And that's what Next Steps Coaching is about. That sometimes we can feel overwhelmed about, I know there are all of these things I have to do to start a business, or build that side hustle, or repair this relationship, or get the work done, or whatever it is. We can cycle through all of those. We've all had that internal conflict, that internal dialogue, that internal conversation, that negative voice. And Next Steps Coaching is really about this declaration of, what matters right now is the next step. Once I can take that next step, then I'll figure out what comes beyond that. And this idea of, I'm just going to pick something and work at it. When it's done, I'm going to move on to the next thing. Sometimes that's where we start. Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking and sharing and subscribing. Thanks for following along. Thanks for being invested in me. I really do appreciate it. I hope that you're feeling invested in with these videos. I've got more to come. So stay tuned. Be sure to follow along, and we'll check in real soon. See ya.